Hey everybody, I just wanted to share some information with you today. I'd like to kind of talk about how, there's not a whole lot of information on women's studies, women's health in general, until just really the last decade, maybe a little longer. But really, there's a lot of new research coming out. And we all know that obviously women go through stages with their hormones, and those fluctuations can cause all sorts of imbalances in the body. But there's a few things where people forget to apply it, and that's when we're trying to be healthy and work out and lose weight. And a common question that I always get is, I work out 5 days a week, I eat really good, but then all of a sudden my energy drops, I've gained belly fat, and I can't recover like I used to. That seems to be a pretty common theme. Even myself, I had gone through that before. So are you working harder than ever, but the results just aren't you aren't getting anywhere with them? This is really about your hormones and what happens. Also about your muscle fibers. As women, they've really come out with these research, especially like Dr. Stacy Sims is a really good one to follow. But she talks about how our muscle fibers are different than men's. So we really can't, do the intermittent fasting and do the cold water plunging and the sauna in the same fashion that they do it. There's different guidelines to it. And so you need to understand what's changing in your body first. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone are going to start fluctuating or declining. And these changes affect muscle protein synthesis. So it's going to be harder to build and maintain your muscle. Recovery is going to be slower. So you're really going to have to incorporate more, active recovery days. Fat distribution is huge for women. There's a lot more visceral belly fat, and we tend to hang on to our fat storages a lot more than, say, men do. And that's probably related to our hormone regulation that we have and that they don't. Energy and motivation. I kind of like Dr. Stacy Sims always says, women are not small men. I've actually heard that myself. We just have different bodies, so things are going to be different when we go to work out. And that makes sense to me. What most women are doing that isn't working. So you're overdoing the cardio. HIIT workouts every day, running too often. You're chronically under eating or cutting the carbs. Doing too many long workouts that raise cortisol without the strength benefit. The stress response. So more is not more after 40. And it's often less progress because here's what's happening. Those hormones are fluctuating. So you don't have your body, if we were to wake up first thing in the morning, it's kind of like, all these fads are saying like, don't eat until 11 or 12. That's actually puts a woman's body who's in perimenopause in a stressful state right out the gate. So really actually what women, and after 40, we get less, we have, less of all of these things. And so it makes it harder, especially stress response. They've literally studied women have more stress receptors that happen in the body than men do. And so that's really going to make a difference on, how, what you're doing and why it's not working. So we want to really shift to strength and sprint intervals. So heavy lifting. 2 to 3 times a week. You're going to do 3 to 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps that are as heavy, where you only have maybe two in reserve after you've reached the max. Sprinting intervals needs to be only once or twice a week, and it's 10 to 30 seconds of max effort and then full recovery. Less volume, more intensity and rest. Pair with more protein, so about 30 grams of protein per meal to support your muscle. The other thing is what you got to remember is, going back to my point that I was trying to make earlier, when we wake up, we can't do what the men do. So for example, within 30 minutes, that first cortisol spike is going to be happening. And if you don't have protein on board to help that cortisol level out and send a signal to your body that it's safe and you can handle this stress load, it's not going to do that. And it's going to go into sympathetic fight or flight, which is exactly what we don't want, because that's why you're not going to be making any of those gains. Mind your recovery. So prioritize sleep, magnesium, breath work, down days, less grinding, more intention. Believe it or not, those things really help your body recover. There's lots of research out there to back that up. So yeah, I address a lot of these issues. These are common things that I've had sneak into my coaching practice. And just so you know, I tailor my coaching programs to your hormones, your genetics, and your life. So I really make this specific. This was just a common theme that I'm noticing with women going through perimenopause, and I don't think it's information that a whole lot of people talk about. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not dismissing hormone replacement therapy, because all those different modalities work, but you also have to know, this is why it's important for women to cycle and to keep track of their cycle, so they know what's happening with the hormones in each of those phases. And then as we head into perimenopause, we know, oh, my estrogen and my progesterone are declining. Okay. Or I'm estrogen dominant. What does that mean? Knowing those things can really help make this transition a lot easier. So hope you enjoyed the tips. More to come. Give me a like on my social media accounts, follow me, and subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you.